Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Got a dishwasher going in the background. Sorry it could not be helped. Anyway, we're here on Shards in a domination match in the Tier 8 Pan-European Tech Tree Destroyer Smaland? I'm gonna go with Smaland. I don't know what that mark means, so I'm just going to ignore it. All right, what can I say about this ship? It is a post-war design. Laid down in 1951, commissioned in 1956, decommissioned in 1979. It is currently a museum ship in Gothenburg. I think that's in Sweden. All right, so in terms of operational history, there really isn't a whole lot to say. It was in a two-ship destroyer division, and at one point they were the two most powerful vessels in the Swedish Navy. Real quick, going to WoW's builds, damage record 248,408, base XP record 4237. We will not approach either of those numbers here today in this video. Like most Pan-European destroyers, excellent AA in the Smaland. It has similar turrets to the Friesland and most of the other premium destroyers that have those twin 120 Bofors, which are dual purpose and count as AA. So it's an excellent ship in any match as an aircraft carrier. Although, that being said, you could literally spend an entire match shooting down airplanes and not really get to accomplish anything else if the carrier player knows what they are doing, because you're going to be just trying to stay alive at that point, dodging planes and dodging incoming salvos from enemy ships. Alright, here's we are wont to do. We are capturing Bravo, because that's what you're supposed to do. And we got sonar, we got some DFAA, we got a couple engine boosts. No concealment. We are going to launch some torpedoes out there, anticipating enemy ship over there, and we are going to get a solo base cap. Pardon me. To start the day off. Alright, moving out. There's a ship behind the island over there, GK. Just checking the motion of his ocean. Another GK over here. We're going to keep heading this way. And at some point I will give you a stat overview, but there will be no comparison because I hate to say it, WoW's builds is messed up and I can't do a ship comparison to all the other ships at Tier 8. There's not a lot of them, you know. I'd say this excels as a gunboat and as an anti-carrier ship. Our four torpedoes, which we our torpedoes, which we launched into the mist of nowhere, we ended up getting 5 hits. Didn't get a ton of damage, about 40,000 damage, but some damage is better than no damage. Didn't get any flooding damage. That's not ideal. Here we're looking at the GK and the cap. And just checking out. There is a gearing. We're spotted. Gonna light the gearing up. And you can see the rate of fire in these Bofors turrets are really amazing. And do not hesitate to duke it out with an enemy ship. As you can see, if you can aim correctly, these guns are powerful. They've got a relatively flat trajectory at close range. No problem setting fires. And we are just chewing the gearing up. And he's going to be dead thanks to a kill pinch. And so I'm going to shoot some torpedoes all over the place. And we'll just engage the GK. I mean, I'm already spotted. What do I have to lose? So we'll shell him. And we'll get the kill pinch that we lost from the Is that a gearing? From whatever that other destroyer we killed was. Alright, here we've got a disabled engine. And we're looking at a Minnesota. And we're just kind of dealing with our problems here because we do not have a damage control or repair party to use. So I think we're just going to let it fix itself. There's an assisted base cap. And we got 55,000 damage. So right now, no carrier. We're helping our team impose our will. Got 2 base caps. Although the enemy is trying to flip Bravo. And really right now, we are just getting into a position to where we can either A, harass the ships some more, or B, get around the island, hang a turn. And I think that is what we are going to inevitably do. Let's take this moment to go to WoW's builds. Alright, looking at the Smaland, Sigma is 2.0, to be expected. Fires per minute, 8.10. Armor-piercing shells, arm at 20 millimeters, overmatch at 8 millimeters. And the torpedo reaction time is 8.05 seconds here in the Smaland. Let me look at one other thing. I don't know what's going on the screen. Max dispersion, just 100 meters. HE shell velocity, 825 meters per second. AP shell velocity, 825 meters per second. So, in my opinion, that is some really nice accuracy. Good dispersion. You should use that to your advantage. And that is why I say first and foremost. This ship is a gunboat. Also has the great ability to neutralize or at least offset an aircraft carrier. And that is what I would use it for primarily. Now, granted, it might not be the very best gunboat in any tier. But that being said, I think all things considered, you'll be winning most gunfights with this ship. Unless you're going up like Friesland or something like that. You know, another ship that for whatever reason can get a better reload than you. Although now that I think about it, Friesland's just a tier 7, so you should beat the Friesland in a gunfight. At that point, it just goes to your commander inspirations. If you run up against somebody using a double gunboat inspiration, Mordov and Ding Rushang, then yeah, you might lose a DPM battle there. If it's built more like a conventional destroyer, where they're not using one of those two as an inspiration, you probably have a better chance. If they're using Swirsky as their commander, they're going to probably have a reload advantage, or it's the same as yours. If they're using Conrad Helfrich and concern more about AA, then you might have an advantage DPM-wise. So that's ideally 1v1 against the enemy destroyer. Obviously, there are plenty of scenarios where you can be damaged by another enemy ship. All right, since we have Bravo and Charlie, we're taking the fight over to the Alpha Cap. As you can see, there's no lead other than the points lead. We are not leading in ships killed. And there are no destroyers left, so my utility is pretty much going to come down to torping, and then maybe this other skill called shooting and kiting, which I probably won't do a ton of because I have less than half of my health left and no smoke screen. Although there is the opportunity to use the speed boost and kind of shoot that way. Instead, we're going to torp out on the Alaska, trying to gauge his movement here. And then we're going to advance. Ideally, what I would like to get is a scenario where the enemy battleships are shooting at someone else and I'm on the other side of their ship. So they'd have to turn the turrets all the way around to get to me. That's an ideal situation. Okay? And so it is not easy to get that kind of positioning all the time. Here you can see our torpedoes totally whiffed. The Alaska turned in, and so was able to avoid them. Des Moines, now this is dangerous to me, because the Des Moines has HE loaded in all probability. And I think he could chew me up rather quickly if he tried. All right, Alaska, meanwhile, is driving all over the place. Not directly towards the enemy like I hoped. And so we are beating a tactical retreat. By the way, we've lost one ship. But because we maintain our points lead, we are not in danger of losing the match yet. At this point, I'm just trying to keep the distance between the Alaska and myself. And we're coming up on a torpedo reload. And I intend to shoot torpedoes at the Alaska. There's salvo number 1. Salvo number 2, we are spotted by the Des Moines, presumably the Des Moines radar. So I am going to start executing some driving maneuvers to try to further increase the distance between me and the enemy ship. There come the salvo from the Des Moines, takes out our torpedo launchers. We're not going to repair that. Our torpedoes, on the other hand, look pretty good against the Alaska. 2 torpedo strikes there, and we just finished them from flooding. And now we're trying to outrun the Des Moines radar. And we managed to do that. And he disables our propulsion, no, our rudder. But even with the disabled rudder, because we have unstoppable, we're still able to maneuver just enough to avoid his salvos. And so until he finds another target, I'm not really planning to engage him. The other side of that coin is that, in theory, yeah, I could load the armor piercing, but I don't really want to do that. Not until I'm sure that he's going to be shooting at someone else. And I'm just not sure that's going to happen at this point. All right, working in on the reload. Our ship repaired itself. Torpedo salvo number 1 is away. And we're going to zoom in and take a look here. And I think right now we're going to start shooting. We're going to start shooting HE. And we're just trying to set the Des Moines on fire. He looks to be looking elsewhere right now. And I think right now is a great opportunity for me to pin him up against the rocks and to use that to my advantage. I am trying to turn my ship a little bit. He does hit me with the salvo. I am turning a little bit right now again. He sets me on fire. We'll put it out. I'm expecting him to kill me at this point. He does kill me. But we do set the Des Moines on fire. And are we burning? No, we are not burning. All right. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Anyway, if you haven't played the Pan-European destroyers yet, and you hate aircraft carriers, they're great at neutralizing the air groups of an aircraft carrier at tier 6 and above for the destroyers. They really have a change in the line. It goes from low damage torp spam from tiers 5 and lower to this gunboaty anti-AA destroyer that you saw in this match and some other matches on my channel at tiers 6, 7, and 8. So yeah, I mean, if that's what you like harassing aircraft carriers, making their day miserable, making them waste their time. That's what these destroyers are really good at, aside from killing other destroyers. All right, we're going to cut to the end here in a minute. All right, here we are on the victory screen. 78,671 total damage, 7 big torpedo strikes, couple of kills, solo base cap, assisted base cap, 5 cap defended ribbons. We ended up with 379,038 silver, 6943 ship XP, 7,081 commander XP in the Smaland. Here we are at the top of the board, folks. 3,065 base XP. The Montana may have got all the medals. We got all the glory. We're at the top of the board. GG to the Daring. Below me, legendary tier ship. We're down tier. We dominated as a down tier destroyer because we did our job. Period. The end. All right. Let's go back to the port. Take a look at the ship. Upgrades. AA Guns Mod 2. Propulsion Mod 2. Concealment System Mod 1. And Main Battery Mod 3. The Smaland is fully upgraded. Taking a look at the loadout. 3 charges of the engine boost. 2 charges of radar. I would not take the heal. And 2 charges of DFAA. You're an AA ship. You want that. Rare battle booster for cooldown time and movement speed. Temporary Type 3 camo. Why can't you give me the permanent camo, Ouija? And the early adopter flag. This, I probably should be running that, the Type 1 permanent camo. Yeah, I'm done. Alright, specs, 21,700 hit points with our build. Got those 2 twin 120mm Bofors, 11 kilometer firing range, 1.8 second reload, 7.7 second turn time. HE shells, 1750 max damage with an 8% fire chance. AP shells, 2100 max damage. Alright, 2 different torpedo launchers. You got a 5-tube launcher and a 3-tube launcher. The reload time is 90 seconds, max damage just 10,700. They have a 13.5 kilometer range at, does that say 86 knots? Good grief. Anyway, they are pretty detectable. Here's the AA. We're going out to 6.2 kilometers. Lots of damage. Max speed, not fast, 36 knots, 660 meter turning circle, 4.7 second rudder shift time. And concealment, 5.2 on the surface, 3 kilometers from the air, 2.5 when firing in smoke. On to the stats. We have played 16 games in the Smaland. We have a tremendous winning percentage. Accuracy's okay. Torpedo accuracy, not great. The most kills in one game is 2. The max damage record for us in the ship, 114,138. And we shot down, is that 46 airplanes in one match? Yeah, here's the commander, Jerzy Swirsky. You know, I will say of what you're seeing here, we got Bay and Sims. Row 3, you don't have to use twist and track. These turrets rotate pretty quickly all by themselves, so you could use Perceptive in row 3. Certainly, there wouldn't be any harm in doing that. But this is the build that I had on the commander, and I didn't bother changing it for the ship. Anyway, that is the Smaland, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. I'll see you tomorrow for another Slightly Above Average Ship Review.